Well, it's a good looking morning to head up to Ballina. I've had a look at the bar cam up there and it looks pretty good. I'm leaving on an outgoing tide here. I have to get up there in 6 and 7 hours and get the flood at Ballina. But the bar here doesn't look too bad, so we'll go out and venture across it. And I've got about 7 hours up to Ballina, which will be great. A little bit of rain around this morning, but looks like being a pretty nice day actually. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't.
Peggy-Anne confirming Rego Foxtrot Bravo 014 Quebec with 1 POB headed to Ballina. What time do you envisage arriving at Ballina? Over.
Yeah, ETA at Ballina about 1600, over.
Confirming 1600, an onboard mobile, over.
Well, we're right across that one. Not what I'd call a flat bar crossing, but I came out the same way as I went in. I headed to the south, just around the seawall, and I'm going around the bar now and heading north. I might have been able to get on the northern side and do the same thing, but I knew it was pretty good the last time I came in that way, and I thought I'll do it again. It looked all right, so we're out. Climbed off a couple, but yeah, we're out and good. So now we've just got to get up to Ballina and hope the bar up there is in pretty good nick for us as well. Should be, because we'll have the run-in tide up there, so it should be a bit flatter than that one. There's no wind, so the sail has been put away. It is supposed to come up from the southeast at about 10 o'clock. It's 10:15 now, but just wait and see. I think I'm going to wind it up before it gets back winded and I can't. It makes it harder. It's really doing nothing, so. No breeze out here at all now. We lost a bit of speed when we lost the wind, so 2.5 hours to Ballina now, but yeah, it's gone around a little bit on the nose too, so that's not helping much either, but not much wind out here really. Sailing certainly could be a lot of mucking around. The breeze is back. It only dropped out for 10 minutes. Now we've got a bit back, so I I may as well use it. I won't unfurl it completely so that if it drops out again, it's not going to rub all over the roof. Minutes to run up to the bar now, and I just looked at the bar cam, looks pretty flat, so I think we'll have a good trip into Ballina, which is good. Coming up on the bar now, and it's looking pretty good. I'll just go across the front of it, pick up the leads, and we'll turn in on the leads and rock in on them, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be a better crossing going in than it was coming out across the bar at Iluka Yamba anyway. Marine Rescue Ballina, Marine Rescue Ballina, Marine Rescue Ballina. This is Peggy-Anne, Peggy-Anne 16.
Yeah, Peggy-Anne, Marine Rescue Ballina, go ahead please.
Yeah, Ballina, this is Peggy-Anne. I'm on your log this afternoon. I've come up from Yamba. I'm just coming up on the leads to the bar now, so I'll give you a call when I get in and log off over.
Yeah, thank you for that, Peggy-Anne. Marine Rescue Ballina around.
Had to back off that one. Well, it's good to be in the Richmond River. Can often be a tricky bar, Ballina, but it wasn't too bad coming in. I think I'm probably going to stay here for tomorrow, and Monday I'll probably skip up to the Gold Coast. I'll be heading home. A bit to do up there, so we'll keep an eye on the weather, and if it looks all right, we'll do the trip up. It's about, I think, 50 odd miles up to the seaway, so it's a bit of a longer trip, and I'll have a day off tomorrow though. Good trip, the anchor's down, time for a beer. I'll cook a few snags for dinner I think, and tomorrow we'll go ashore and check out the town. Good to be here. And now it's time for coffee. Let's go. This is my favourite coffee spot in Ballina. I've only been here 2 days, but it's a really good little store. It's called Just Funk, and they make great coffee, and it's like an old record store I used to visit when I was a younger bloke. I'd prefer not to do what I'm doing this morning. It's about 2:15, and I'm going to head out across the Ballina Bar tonight. I'd prefer not to do it, but the tide's going to be right, and I've got a long trip up to the Gold Coast, so it'll all work pretty well. It's a pretty dark night, but I think the water on the bar is going to be better with the tide running in than it is with the tide running out, so we'll go out and get across it. Have a cup of tea and a bit of brekkie first, and then we'll get going. Here, I've jibed the sail 4 times now. I've just wound it up. I've had enough. The wind's going from one side of the boat to the other. I'd like to be able to use it, but I'm just going to let the motors do the work and wait until the wind sets in if it does. But it's pretty much like a washing machine out here. We're doing 4.5 knots. It's raining. Bring on the tropics, that's what I say. Bloody terrible night. Anyway, it's starting to get daylight, and that'll make it a bit better, I guess. This is comfortably numb, just passing me at 8 knots. See if I can take a photo of you.
What's that?
I'll see if I can take a photo of you. It looks really good with that big cloud behind.
Oh, yeah.
Pete just went past doing his 8 or 9 knots. Good speed to do, actually. I'm thinking about getting the sail out again, but there's a squall coming up and I don't know what it's going to do. It'll probably backwind it. So I think I'm just going to leave it until the wind settles in a bit. We're just passing Cape Byron now, so about 6 hours to run up to the Tweed, and then another 4 after that. So got another about 10 hours to go. This is Coolangatta and Tweed Heads. You can see out in front of us. There is a bar there. We could go into the Tweed River and anchor up, but it's only about another 3 or 4 hours down to the Gold Coast Seaway. And I'm going to get down there. I should get there before high tide, so it'll be another good time to be crossing the bar onto the Gold Coast. They've put out a strong wind warning for tomorrow. It'll probably be all right in the morning, but just another bar to get across and get out of again. I think I'll just do the extra 3 or 4 hours and get down to the Gold Coast Seaway. I'm in out of it then. We're getting along at a pretty good clip now. We're using a bit of wind, and we're getting 5.5 to 6 knots. and it really does shorten the trip up. It makes it a lot shorter if you can get that wind assisting you. Not many other boats out. Pete went past earlier, but not too many boats out today. It's not really a day that would encourage you to come out here, I suppose. I've only done it to beat the strong wind warning, and yeah, it's been okay the last part of the trip. The first part wasn't that flash, but this last bit of the trip we've been travelling along pretty well. Like in the gloom up in front there, it's Cook Island you can see in front of us, and Fingal Head, and up in the gloom I can see the high rises of the Gold Coast, so makes me feel like I'm sort of back home again now. Well, it's good to be back in Queensland. Been a long trip right down south and then back up here, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. Some better than others, but it's been pretty good. One of the reasons, once I get to the Gold Coast, to Jacob's Well, I'm going to stop for a minute and take a breather. There's a few things I've got to do. The first one, this Simrad plotter, it hasn't been a really great product. Actually, this is the third Simrad plotter I've had on the boat. The first two failed. The first one cost me a lot of money. I had to replace it with the second one, which cost me a lot of money, and the only reason I stuck with Simrad for the second one was all the plugs fitted, so I stuck with their system. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm biting the bullet and I'm going to replace the Simrad product with a Ray Marine product. So that's one of the jobs I'm going to do when I'm on the Gold Coast at Jacob's Well. Bruce is going to give me a hand, and we're going to rip this whole system out, put new transducers in the boat, and a couple of new multi-function displays and AIS. So that's the project for when I get to the Gold Coast, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the new gear on. Well, one last bar to cross. Be good not to cross any for a while, to be honest. Anyway, I've done my fair share on my trip south and back north. But anyway, this will be the last one, and I've just had a look at the bar cam. It looks pretty cruisy, so we'll take it like that, I think. Well, welcome to sunny Queensland. Well, after a really terrible day, a bit of promise for a better day tomorrow. Not a bad sunset here at Tippler's Resort. To get off the boat and go for a bit of a walk with Big Matt off Thalamo over the ocean beach. It's good to enjoy a bit of sunshine for a change. The next day we head further up the Broadwater to Jacob's Well, where I'm lucky enough to pick up a berth right next to my mate Bruce's place.
Is this out with the bad and in with the good, or out with the old and in with the new?
Bit hard to say.
Bit of both.
Yeah, bit
We've
of both.
removed the defective Simrad gear and replace it with the new
And the
Axiom
display's
system from Ray Marine. Then I spend a few days on the hard replacing transducers. See you next week, dudes.